All right, let's talk about file servers. If you've ever had the joy of getting a call at 3 a.m. because a server is down, then you're in the right place. We are going to dig into one of the biggest headaches in IT, managing file storage and how to simplify it. So let's just jump right in. You know the drill, right? You're constantly patching the OS, you're stressing about potential hardware failures, and you're always scrambling to find more disk space right when things get busy. I mean, look, traditional on-prem file servers have been absolute workhorses for years, but they come with so much operational baggage. It feels like you're always just reacting instead of moving forward. So, what's the alternative? Well, that's where Azure Files comes into the picture. To put it simply, it's a fully managed file share service that lives in the cloud. Just think of it like a universal network drive that you don't have to manage, you don't have to patch, and you definitely don't have to physically manage. It's built to be simple and reliable, so you can actually focus on the stuff that matters. Now here's the really cool part, how it actually works. Azure Files uses the industry standard protocols you and your teams already know and use every single day, SMB and NFS. And what that means is you can just mount an Azure File share on pretty much anything, Windows, Linux, macOS, whether those machines are in the cloud or sitting right there in your office. And for the developers out there, you can even get at your data with the Azure Files REST API. It's really designed to just plug right into your world without a fuss. Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, right? But what about the real world? How can you actually put this to work? Let's dive into 4 super powerful ways Azure Files can solve some common problems. First up, the most obvious one, just straight up replacing or adding to your current file servers. You can mount these Azure File shares directly on any compatible OS, just like a normal network drive. But check this out. There's a really clever feature called Azure File Sync. This lets you set up a fast local cache of your cloud data right there on your Windows servers. So your users get that zippy local server performance while all your data is safely stored and backed up in the cloud. It's the best of both worlds, really. Use case number 2 is a huge one, especially if you're looking at cloud migration. So many of our older but still critical applications were built to just, well, find their data on a file share. Azure Files makes it incredibly easy to lift and shift these apps to the cloud because you can give them that file share they expect without having to re-architect the entire application. And this gives you some amazing flexibility. You could do a classic lift and shift where you move both the app and its data up into Azure. Or, and this is a great option, you can go with a hybrid approach. You move just the data to Azure Files, but the application itself keeps running on-prem. This lets you migrate things at your own pace, without causing a big disruption. But hey, this isn't just about old infrastructure. Azure Files is a total game changer for anyone building new applications in the cloud too. So let's talk about what this means for developers. Okay, imagine this. You could use a central file share for all your app's configuration files. Or maybe create a shared spot to dump all your logs, metrics, and crash dumps. And think about having a pre-made toolkit of scripts and diagnostic tools instantly available on any new virtual machine you spin up. No more manually copying files everywhere. It's just a massive time saver. And for all you folks working with containers, this is absolutely crucial. By design, containers are supposed to be temporary and stateless. They don't hang on to data. So what happens when your containerized app actually needs to save something? Well, Azure Files provides a persistent, shared file system that any of your container instances can connect to. This makes sure your data is always safe, no matter which container happens to be running. So, we've seen what Azure Files can do. Now, let's talk about why it's such a game changer. Let's get into the core benefits. Here's the quick rundown. It's easy to use, you get shared access, and it works with the tools you already have. But I really want to focus on 2 of the biggest benefits here. The ones that truly change your day-to-day life in IT. First, the big one. It is fully managed. I mean, this quote really says it all. The value here is just immense. Think about all the hours your team sinks into patching and maintenance every single month. With Azure Files, you get that time back. All that stress about security updates and failing hard drives, it's just gone. Microsoft takes care of it. And second, resiliency. This is all about peace of mind. Azure Files is built from the ground up with things like geo-redundancy and automatic failover. So those local power outages or network failures, they're no longer your emergency call in the middle of the night because the platform is literally designed to handle them for you. All right, so with all those benefits, you're probably thinking, this has got to be complicated to set up. but you might be surprised at just how straightforward it is to get going. It really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you plan it out. Think about performance needs, access control, that sort of thing. Second, you create the share itself, which you can do in just a few seconds using the Azure portal, PowerShell, or the Azure CLI. And third, you just connect and mount it. That's it. It feels just like connecting to any other network drive. So let's end on this thought. When you offload all that heavy lifting, all that time and energy spent just managing file servers, what do you do with that freedom? The next time you're not up at 3 a.m. fixing a server, what could you be dreaming up instead? The real question isn't just about what you're replacing, it's about what new, amazing things this technology is going to empower you to build next.